Hello, good evening. Welcome to Dr. Lundell Reads Ulysses. I'm Dr. Lundell, and I guess in a philosophical and historical, socio-historical, anachronistic, anarchist, eco-feminist way, this is my way of saying hello to the world. Like Ulysses is James Joyce's way of saying hello to the world. And he wanted to be immortal. That's why he wrote these books. Uh, yeah. And I guess information about the book will come out over these videos as they continue, but also, I guess, information about myself will come out. And hopefully, you reflect upon the information about yourself that comes up for you when you hear the information about myself that comes out. Today's episode is brought to you by Kurt Vonnegut's Breakfast of Champions. And we're on page 14. And the last sentence of page 13 kind of bleeds into 14, so I'll just read that real quick. It says, "He watched her pour into the measure and thence into the jug rich, white milk, not hers, old shrunken paps. She poured again a measureful and a tilly. Old and secret she had entered from a morning world, maybe a messenger. She praised the goodness of the milk, pouring it out. Crouching by a patient cow at daybreak in the lush field, a witch on her toadstool, her wrinkled fingers quick at the squirting dugs. They lowed about her whom they knew, dew silky cattle. Silk of the kine and poor old woman, names given her in old times. A wandering crone, lowly form of an immortal serving her conqueror and her gay betrayer, their common cuckoyan, a messenger from the secret morning, to serve or to upbraid, whether he could not tell, but scorned to beg her favor. "It is indeed, ma'am," Buck Mulligan said, pouring milk into their cups. "Taste it, sir," she said. He drank at her bidding. "If we could only live on good food like that," he said to her somewhat loudly, "we wouldn't have the country full of rotten teeth and rotten guts, living in a bog swamp, eating cheap food and the streets paved with dust, horse dung, and consumptive spits." "Are you a medical student, sir?" the old woman asked. "I am, ma'am," Buck Mulligan answered. Stephen listened in scornful silence. She bows her own head to a voice that speaks to her loudly, her bone setter, her medicine man. Me she slights. To the voice that will shrive and oil for the grave all there is of her but her woman's unclean loins, of man's flesh made not in God's likeness, the serpent's prey. And to the loud voice that now bids her be silent with wondering, unsteady eyes. "Do you understand what she says?" Stephen asked her. Sorry, "Do you understand what he says?" Stephen asked her. "Is it French you're talking, sir?" the old woman said to Haynes. Haynes spoke to her again a longer speech, confidently. "Irish," Buck Mulligan said. "Is there Gaelic on you?" "I thought it was Irish," she said, by the sound of it. "Are you from the West, sir?" "I am an Englishman," Haynes answered. "He's English," Buck Mulligan said, "and thinks we ought to speak Irish in Ireland." "Sure we ought to," the old woman said, "and I'm ashamed I don't speak the language myself. I'm told it's a grand language by them that knows." "Grand is no name for it," said Buck Mulligan. Wonderful entirely. Fill us out some more tea, Kinch. Would you like a cup, ma'am? That's page 14 for you. At the top here, I wrote at some point Irish slash English language and identity, which is like, I guess it's like professor shorthand for the lesson of the day. If you want to teach page 14, you can talk about, well, this whole page is written in English, but this is in Ireland, and they're talking about Gaelic, which is a forgotten or original or authentic language of the place in which the book is set. And you also kind of have like Buck Mulligan being a dick to this old woman who's like clearly of a working class socioeconomic status, and Buck Mulligan is a medical student. He's going to be a doctor. And I think he is being a dick. I think he's being a dick to everybody, Buck Mulligan. I think maybe Steven is too, but Steven is a dick in a different way. He's in a different way of like a nerd, like an English major from Berkeley. Believe me, I know them well. I was one myself. An English major from Berkeley who's like, oh, this medical student roommate of mine is treating the cleaning woman, the milkmaid, in a demeaning way from his stance as a upper class man buying her wares. And Stephen steps in and says, "Do you understand what he says?" Stephen asked her. Because what he really means is Buck Mulligan is fucking with you, miss. And he's fucking with you because he thinks you're of a lowly class than he is. And he's an Irish person who has succeeded in the eyes of the British colonial imperial leaders of his land. And so, therefore, he is better than you. And he is saying that when Buck Mulligan says, "We wouldn't have a country full of rotten teeth and rotten guts, living in bog swamp, eating cheap food, and the streets paved with dust, horse dung, and consumptive spits." But it is clear that no one here, as in the book, no one is a true hero. No one has the truth. Everyone is seeing the world through their own perspectives. And together in this little small room on this one day in Dublin, Ireland, we have three different perspectives, three different inconsequential perspectives of people who, in James Joyce's eyes, are as grandiose and grand as Ulysses and Telemachus and the swineherd. By the way, the novel, even though it's based on the Odyssey is a poem, an epic poem that takes place over like 10 years, following 10 years of a Trojan War, which is depicted in the other epic, the Iliad. Um, Ulysses takes place in 24 hours. It's one day. It's a very specific day. I don't want to say it because it's going to be wrong right now, but I'll look it up. But I think it's like February 3rd, 1906. I really think it is. And James Joyce made it that day because it was the day he met his wife, Nora Barnacle. And he said it in a 24-hour period because he wanted us to think about how each second, each minute, each interaction we have, as mundane As it may seem, as boring as it is, each moment and each second is an epic odyssey, an epic adventure towards where only the gods know. So, yeah, one day, Dublin, Ireland, one page, San Diego, California, which is where I'm reading this from, one bag of fat, water, and flesh, which is what I am. Saying these sounds, recording them, having them be something different than the markings on this page, and putting it on a thing called YouTube. There's a lot there. Anyway, that's page 14. You know, I've been giving this. Look at this postcard. It's great. Having fun in California. There's two chimpanzees and a rose. You know, the zoo in San Diego doesn't have chimpanzees. But so far, my postcard is blank, but it can have your name on it for the low, low price of $50. And I'll put my Venmo information on this video somehow. If you put $50, I'll put your fucking name right here. And one time I will say thank you. So you can put your company's name, say thank you, fucking Smart Water. And I'll say it once, but it'll be written there forever. But if you pay $100, I'm going to thank you every single page. That's 750 pages of thanks for whatever fucking company you have for the rest of eternity to the entire world and probably beyond when our planet gets discovered by superior beings. Anyway, I'm really sorry. Never mind. I don't really want your money. I don't need it. But if you want to give it to me, I'll take it because I do like nice things. I'm tired of other people having nice things for doing shittier things than what I'm doing. Peace be upon you. Salamu alaikum. Ahlan wa sahlan. Shukran jazilan. Good night.